All right, so Paul tells us nothing different than what we learn in the Old Testament. He tells us we have to be in covenant to be blameless before Jehovah. Colossians 1, I'll start on verse 19. For it pleased the Father that in him should all fullness dwell, and having made peace through the blood of his cross, by him to reconcile all things unto himself. By him I say, whether they be things in earth or things in heaven, and you that were sometime alienated and enemies in your mind by wicked works, yet now hath he reconciled. So wicked works, opposite of good works. The good works are keeping the commandments. Wicked works are things like lying, stealing, murdering. We know this from Galatians 5, works of the flesh, Revelation 22:15, those outside the kingdom, evil works. Second witness to this is in Ephesians 2. Most people, Christians, don't read past verse 9. Bad idea. You should keep going. Verse 10. For we are his workmanship, created in Yeshua Messiah unto good works, the commandments, the things God said to do, which God has before ordained that we should walk in them. Before ordained, Exodus 19 and 20. You want a summary? Read Deuteronomy 5. Wherefore remember that you being in times past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcised by that which is called circumcised in the flesh made by hands, that at that time you were without Messiah, being aliens from what? The commonwealth of Israel. You were not part of Israel, now you are. People going around saying they're not is insane. Commonwealth of Israel, and strangers from the covenants of promise. Eat clean and the 10 commandments. You were strangers before, but now you're not, and you had no hope without God in the world. So let's go back to Colossians 1. And you can clearly see here what he's telling us is the same thing of the old. You got to be in covenant with him or you're out. You're not Israel. You're not Israel. You're nobody. You're without hope. So he says that you were alienated by your minds with wicked works, but now you're reconciled in the body of his flesh through death to present you holy and unblameable and unprovable in his sight. The only way to be holy, unblameable, and unreprovable in his sight is to be in covenant. Paul is telling you that Messiah died to forgive your sins, so you now can be cleansed, born again, to get in covenant and be unblameable in front of the Father. That's what he's saying, and there's no contradiction here. Then Paul adds, to be unblameable and unreprovable in his sight, if, verse 23, he says, if you continue in faith, grounded and settled, and be not moved away from the hope of the gospel, which you have heard, and which was preached to every creature under heaven, where I, Paul, may minister. The gospel, the refreshing, Deuteronomy 18, verse 15, Deuteronomy 5, Acts 3. Yeshua came to refresh the covenant, aka 10 commandments, so you can be blameless in front of Jehovah.